Welcome to this powerful morning practice. In the next hour, you will hear timeless wisdom from the great Stoic philosophers. These are not just words. They are tools to build discipline, focus, and inner peace. If you apply what you hear today, your life can truly change. Every morning is a new chance to become stronger, wiser, and more in control of yourself. And while you listen, you are also training your English. This is not only motivation for your mind, but practice for your language. Step by step, your understanding will grow, and so will your discipline. So stay with me until the end. Make this a daily ritual. Because the more you listen, the more you transform. Now, let us begin. When you wake up in the morning, remind yourself that you are alive. You are breathing. You are here. Marcus Aurelius, the great Stoic emperor, once said, "When you arise in the morning, think of what a precious privilege it is to be alive, to breathe, to think, to enjoy, to love." These words are not decoration. They are a call to action. Most people forget the value of a single day. They wake up tired, they complain, they waste the morning. But the Stoic way is different. A Stoic sees each morning as a chance to live with strength, with discipline, with purpose. Life is not in your control. Events, people, the world outside of you, these things are not yours to command. But your mind, your choices, your actions, those are always in your hands. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself every day, you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. Do not waste your life trying to change what is beyond you. Focus instead on mastering what is within you. This is the discipline of a Stoic. When you feel anger rising, remember, you control your reaction. When you feel fear, remember, you control your courage. When you feel tired, remember, you control your effort. The man who controls himself is free, even in chains. The man who is controlled by his desires is a slave, even in luxury. Seneca, another master of Stoicism, wrote, "It is not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste a lot of it." Think about this. Time is not your enemy. Wasting time is. Every hour you spend in hesitation, in distraction, in weakness, is an hour you will never see again. Life is not short, but you make it short when you live without discipline. So stop waiting. Stop delaying. Stop saying tomorrow. The Stoic knows that the only time that belongs to him is today. When obstacles come, do not run. Epictetus taught that difficulties show what men are. When you meet resistance, when life becomes hard, this is your test. The weak man curses the obstacle, the strong man uses it. The obstacle is not your enemy. The obstacle is the way. Every challenge you face, every pain you endure, can make you stronger if you accept it. Imagine a fire. Throw wood on it, and it grows higher. A Stoic is that fire. Every problem is fuel. Every difficulty is energy. Nothing can stop the man who turns pain into power. So how should you live this day? Begin with gratitude. Do not rush, do not complain, do not waste the morning. Sit still for a moment. Breathe. Say to yourself, I am alive. I will use this day well. Then rise and act. Do your work with focus. Speak with honesty. Walk with purpose. When you feel distraction pulling you, remember that you are not here to waste time. You are here to live. Do not fear death. Death will come, and no man escapes it. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You could leave life right now." Let that determine what you do and say and think. This is not meant to scare you. It is meant to wake you. You do not have forever. One day will be your last day. One morning will be your final morning. Live so that when it comes, you are ready. Live so that no regret holds you back. Strength is not given. It is built, choice by choice, day by day. A Stoic does not look for an easy life. He looks for a strong life. He looks for a disciplined life. And discipline is freedom. The man who cannot master himself is chained by his own weakness. The man who lives with discipline is free in every way. So rise today as a Stoic. Do not complain about what you cannot control. Do not waste what you have been given. Face the day with courage, with discipline, with gratitude. Remember the wisdom of Marcus Aurelius, Seneca, and Epictetus. Remember that life is short, that obstacles are fuel, that the mind is your fortress. Build that fortress strong, and nothing can destroy you. You have this one life. This one day. Do not waste it. Live it as a Stoic. Seneca, one of the great voices of Stoicism, warned humanity about the greatest danger we all face. Not war, not poverty, not pain. The greatest danger is wasting time. He wrote, "It is not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste a lot of it." Think carefully about this. How many days of your life have already been lost in distraction, in meaningless tasks, in empty talk, in fear of the future? How many mornings have slipped through your fingers while you promised yourself that tomorrow you will change? This is the true tragedy of life. Not that it ends quickly, but that we spend it as if it will last forever. Imagine a man who receives a bag of gold coins. Every morning, someone takes one coin from the bag. At first he ignores it. He thinks the bag will last. But day by day, the bag grows lighter, and suddenly one morning, the last coin is gone. Life is the same. Each morning a coin is taken, and one day it will be the last. Yet most people act as if their bag is infinite. They throw their coins away on gossip, on anger, on jealousy, on laziness. Seneca tells us, "Do not waste what you cannot replace." You can regain lost money. You can rebuild lost health. But time, once gone, is gone forever. So what should you do? Guard your time with more jealousy than a miser guards his gold. Do not give it freely to those who waste it. Do not let the hours of your life be stolen by meaningless things. Every moment is an opportunity to grow stronger, to live with virtue, to move closer to wisdom. Every wasted hour is a cut in the fabric of your life. The Stoic life is not about having no fun. It is about living with intention. If you choose to rest, rest with awareness. If you choose to work, work with focus. If you choose to speak, speak with truth. But never let your time slip away unconsciously. Never let life be something that just happens to you. You must live deliberately. You must direct your energy. Seneca also said, while we waste our time hesitating, life is running away. How many times have you delayed something you knew was right? How many times have you said, I will start tomorrow, I will try next week, I will change later? Every time you delay, you are lying to yourself. Tomorrow is not promised. Later may never come. The only time you own is now. And if you do not act now, you may never act at all. A Stoic accepts this truth. He does not complain about how little time he has. He does not dream of another life. He uses the life he has, here and now. He wakes up and moves forward with discipline. He does not waste mornings, he does not waste evenings. He treats each day as if it could be his last. But this awareness should not make you sad. It should make you alive. When you know that time is short, you value it more. You love more deeply. You work more seriously. You live more fully. Mortality is not a curse, it is a gift. It is the fire that pushes you to live with strength today instead of waiting for tomorrow. So how do you apply this today? Ask yourself in every moment, is this how I want to spend my life? When you scroll endlessly, when you argue over nothing, when you avoid the hard task, remember that your bag of coins is lighter now. That hour will never return. Do not waste it. Instead, build something, learn something, practice discipline, serve others, grow stronger. Life is not measured in years, but in moments lived with awareness. You could live 80 years and waste them all, or you could live 20 years with discipline and die having truly lived. A short life lived with virtue is greater than a long life wasted in weakness. So today, be ruthless with your time. Cut away distractions. Cut away excuses. Use your hours as if they are treasures. Because they are. When death comes, you will not fear, because you will know you did not waste your life. You lived it. This is the wisdom of Seneca. Life is long if you know how to use it. Do not waste what you cannot replace. Live today as if it were your last. Live today as a Stoic. Epictetus was born a slave, yet he became one of the greatest teachers of freedom. How is that possible? Because he understood a truth that most people never realize. Freedom is not found in wealth, in status, or in the approval of others. Freedom is found in the mastery of your own mind. He said, we cannot choose our external circumstances, but we can always choose how we respond to them. Think about this. A man may have everything, riches, comfort, fame, yet if his mind is weak, he is a prisoner. He is chained to the opinions of others, chained to fear, chained to desire. Another man may have nothing, may live in hardship, yet if he controls his thoughts and his reactions, he is free. The first man is a king in appearance, a slave in reality. The second man is a slave in appearance, but a king in reality. This is the power of Stoicism. Epictetus taught that the root of suffering is trying to control what does not belong to us. You cannot control the weather, so why curse the rain? You cannot control the behavior of others, so why be angry at their foolishness? You cannot control fortune, so why cry when luck changes? What belongs to you are your choices, your actions, your judgments. These are your domain, your fortress. Guard them. Train them. Master them. When you stop wasting energy on what you cannot control, you gain incredible strength. You become calm where others panic. You stay steady where others break. You remain free where others are trapped. This is not weakness. This is not indifference. This is wisdom. It is the wisdom to focus your energy only on what truly belongs to you. Life will test you. You will face loss, betrayal, pain, and failure. Epictetus did not promise a life free of hardship. He promised the possibility of strength in hardship. When something difficult happens, he said, do not say, this is misfortune. Say instead, this is training. Every trial is an opportunity to practice virtue. Every difficulty is a chance to grow stronger. A man who lives with this mindset cannot be broken. Because to him, every blow from life is a lesson, every loss is a reminder, every obstacle is fuel. Imagine someone insults you. The ordinary man becomes angry, shouts back, loses his peace. But the Stoic smiles and thinks, this is outside my control. Their words do not define me. Their anger is their problem. My reaction is mine. And by choosing calm over rage, the Stoic wins. Imagine life takes away your wealth. The ordinary man despairs, curses fate, feels empty. But the Stoic thinks, fortune is not mine, it never was. What is mine is my mind, my discipline, my character. And no one can steal those from me. This is the true strength of a Stoic. Not to be untouchable, but to be unbreakable. Pain may touch the body, but it cannot chain the soul. Misfortune may strike, but it cannot rob you of virtue. Loss may hurt, but it cannot destroy your spirit. As Epictetus said, no man is free who is not master of himself. Freedom begins inside, not outside. So what should you do today? First, learn to separate what is in your control from what is not. When something bothers you, ask yourself, is this mine to change? If yes, act with discipline. If no, let it go. This simple practice will save you from endless suffering. Second, treat every difficulty as training. Do not run from it. Do not cry over it. Face it as a warrior of the mind. Ask yourself, what virtue can I practice now? Patience? Courage? Self-control? Let the trial shape you. Third, protect your mind as your most precious possession. Do not give it away to anger, to fear, to gossip, to envy. Keep it clean, keep it strong, keep it free. Epictetus lived in chains, but his mind was untouchable. You may live in a world full of noise, chaos, and distraction, but your mind can remain steady, calm, and strong. That is real freedom. That is real power. Remember this, you are not disturbed by things, but by the opinions you take of them. Change your opinion, and you change your world. Hold fast to this wisdom, and nothing can break you. You will walk through fire and remain whole. You will stand in the storm and remain unshaken. You will live as a Stoic, free in mind, strong in spirit. Life will never be easy, and the Stoics never promised that it would. But they promised something far greater. They promised that every obstacle can be turned into power. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." These are not just words. They are a key to surviving and thriving in the hardest of times. Think about your own life. Every time you faced a challenge, you had two choices. You could break, or you could grow. You could run away, or you could step forward. The weak man curses the obstacle and calls himself unlucky. The strong man uses the obstacle as fuel. Every difficulty becomes training. Every setback becomes a lesson. Every loss becomes a teacher. This is the Stoic way. Seneca once said, "Difficulties strengthen the mind as labor does the body." A muscle does not grow without resistance. It does not grow by being comfortable, it grows by being tested, by being torn, by being rebuilt stronger. Your mind is the same. Your spirit is the same. Without challenges, you will never grow. Without obstacles, you will remain soft, weak, unprepared. So when life brings resistance, do not hide from it. Use it. Welcome it. Let it shape you. Epictetus was born a slave. He had no wealth, no status, no freedom in the eyes of the world. Yet he became one of the greatest teachers of freedom. How? Because every difficulty was training. Every chain was a lesson. Every hardship was a teacher. He did not let his suffering destroy him. He let it refine him. He proved that no matter how great the obstacle, the mind that accepts it and transforms it will rise above it. So when you lose something, do not despair. When you fail, do not give up. When life pushes you down, do not stay on the ground. Stand up and say, "This is the way. This pain is my path to strength. This struggle is my training. This setback is my preparation." The world cannot defeat the man who uses everything against it. Imagine a fire. Throw wood on it and the flames rise higher. Throw obstacles at a Stoic, and he becomes stronger. Nothing can extinguish that fire. But this is not just philosophy to admire. It is a way of living. How do you practice it? First, when something blocks you, ask yourself, what opportunity hides here? If you fail, perhaps it teaches you patience. If you are rejected, perhaps it teaches you resilience. If you are criticized, perhaps it teaches you humility. Every obstacle carries a hidden gift. Second, remember that resistance is necessary. Do not beg for an easy life. Beg for strength to handle a hard life. Ask not for lighter burdens, but for broader shoulders. Third, remind yourself that obstacles are temporary, but the strength they give you is permanent. The storm will pass, but the resilience you built will stay. Marcus Aurelius faced wars, betrayal, and endless duties as emperor. Yet he wrote to himself every day, reminding himself that obstacles are part of nature, part of the path. He accepted them, embraced them, and turned them into wisdom. Seneca faced exile, false accusations, and the threat of death. Yet he wrote letters filled with calm strength and guidance. Epictetus lived with chains on his body, yet he taught others how to be free in their minds. If they could use obstacles to grow, what excuse do you have? The obstacle is the way. Not a barrier, but a path. Not an enemy, but a teacher. Every time you feel pain, remember that you are in training. Every time you are tested, remember that you are being forged. The sword becomes strong only in the fire. The mind becomes strong only in the struggle. Do not run from it. Do not fear it. Walk straight into it and transform it. So today, when you face a problem, do not say, "Why me?" Say instead, "This is my chance. This is my training. This is my path." And walk it with courage, with discipline, with gratitude. Because nothing in this world can stop the man who sees obstacles not as enemies, but as the very road to greatness. Memento mori. Remember that you will die. At first these words sound harsh, frightening, almost unbearable. But to the Stoics, they are not dark words. They are liberating words. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself every day, you could leave life right now. Let that determine what you do and say and think. Why would the most powerful man in the world write such words to himself? Because he knew the truth. Death is the great equalizer. It comes for the rich and the poor, the strong and the weak, the emperor and the slave. No one escapes it. And when you remember this, you stop wasting your life. Most people live as if they are immortal. They delay their dreams. They postpone their discipline. They waste hours, days, years, believing they will always have more. But the Stoic knows better. The Stoic knows that time is limited, that the bag of coins grows lighter every morning. To remember death is not to fear it, but to use it. It is the reminder that life is short, and therefore every moment matters. Seneca said, "We are not given a short life, but we make it short, and we are not ill-supplied but wasteful of it." Death does not cut us down too soon. We cut ourselves down by living as if tomorrow is guaranteed. Memento mori is the cure for this sickness. When you remember that you may not see another sunrise, suddenly the petty worries of life lose their power. Suddenly the gossip, the envy, the anger, the endless distractions seem foolish. What truly matters becomes clear. Think of your own life. If this were your last day, how would you spend it? Would you waste it scrolling through meaningless noise? Would you waste it arguing over things that do not matter? Or would you live with courage, with gratitude, with love, with discipline? The Stoics ask you to live each day as if it were your last. Not in reckless pleasure, but in mindful strength. So that if death comes, you are ready. Epictetus told his students, "Death is nothing terrible, else it would have appeared so to Socrates." If the wisest men faced death calmly, why should you tremble? Death is natural as birth, as natural as breathing. The tragedy is not that we die, but that we fail to live before we die. So how do you use this truth? First, remind yourself daily. When you wake up, whisper to yourself, "I may not see the night." When you go to sleep, whisper, "I may not see the morning." This is not to fill you with fear, but with urgency. Second, strip away the unimportant. Do not fill your life with noise, with distraction, with meaningless anger. Spend your hours on what matters, building virtue, loving deeply, acting with courage, using your gifts. Third, live so that death cannot take anything from you. Because if your strength, your virtue, your discipline are truly yours, then even death cannot rob you. Marcus Aurelius lived with wars on every border, betrayals in his court, endless duties as emperor. Yet he reminded himself, death is not to be feared. What matters is how I live until death. Seneca wrote letters in exile, knowing he could be killed at any moment. Yet his words are calm, wise, and filled with gratitude. Epictetus lived in chains, yet he faced life and death with the serenity of a free man. If they could live with memento mori, so can you. Do not run from this truth. Do not cover it with distractions. Look at it directly and let it sharpen you. The knowledge of death is the key to life. It tells you, do not delay your courage. Do not delay your discipline. Do not delay your love. Do it now, because later may never come. And when the final day arrives, you will not tremble. You will not regret. You will not cry for more time. Because you will know that you lived fully, that you used your hours, that you lived as a Stoic. Remember, memento mori is not about death. It is about life. It is about living with such clarity, such strength, such discipline, that when death comes, it finds nothing left to take. Discipline is freedom. These words may sound strange at first. How can discipline, which seems like restriction, actually be the key to freedom? But the Stoics understood this deeply. The man without discipline is a slave, not to chains, not to masters, but to his own desires, his own laziness, his own weakness. The man with discipline, even if he lives with little, even if he faces hardship, is free, because he rules himself. Marcus Aurelius wrote to himself daily, if you are distressed by anything external, the pain is not due to the thing itself but to your estimate of it, and this you have the power to revoke at any moment. This is discipline. The ability to master your judgments, to hold back your impulses, to remain steady when the world shakes. A disciplined man is not controlled by pleasure, by fear, by anger. He is controlled only by his reason, by his virtue, by his choice. Seneca taught that it is not the man who has little, but the man who desires more, who is poor. Discipline teaches you to master desire. Without discipline, no wealth will satisfy you, no pleasure will fill you. With discipline, even a little is enough, because you are not ruled by craving, you are ruled by strength. Discipline makes you content, makes you focused, makes you free. Epictetus, who had lived as a slave, told his students, "No man is free who is not master of himself." You can see this everywhere. The man who cannot wake up early when he must, is not free. The man who cannot say no to harmful desires, is not free. The man who cannot control his anger, is not free. He is chained, not by others, but by himself. Discipline is the key that unlocks those chains. Discipline is not punishment. Discipline is training. Just as the body grows stronger through resistance, the soul grows stronger through restraint. When you resist laziness, you train strength. When you resist anger, you train patience. When you resist desire, you train freedom. Every act of discipline is a victory. Every time you choose the harder right over the easier wrong, you build a fortress within yourself. This is why the Stoics saw discipline not as restriction, but as liberation. Without discipline, you are tossed around by emotions, by pleasure, by pain, by the chaos of life. With discipline, you stand steady, calm, unshaken. You are the master of your own fate, because you are the master of yourself. So how do you practice this today? Begin with small acts. Wake up when you said you would wake up. Do the work you promised yourself you would do. Hold back the angry words that rise to your lips. Resist the temptation to waste your time. Every small act of discipline is a brick in the wall of your strength. Soon you will stand inside a fortress built by your own choices, unshaken by storms, untouchable by chaos. Marcus Aurelius had the power of an empire, yet he trained himself daily in discipline, writing reminders in his journal to stay humble, to stay calm, to stay focused. Seneca lived with the wealth of Rome, yet he trained himself to be content with little, to practice simplicity, to prepare for hardship. Epictetus had nothing, yet he lived with more freedom than kings, because he owned his mind and his discipline. The weak man seeks freedom by chasing desire. He runs after pleasure, after wealth, after distraction, believing that if he gets enough, he will be free. But he only becomes more enslaved. The Stoic seeks freedom by mastering himself. He limits desire, he strengthens will, he disciplines his mind. And in doing so, he finds a freedom that no one can take away. So remember this truth. Discipline is not your enemy. Discipline is your greatest ally. It is the weapon that protects you, the shield that guards you, the path that sets you free. Live with discipline today. Rise above laziness, rise above fear, rise above weakness. Live as a Stoic, and you will find the only freedom that truly matters, the freedom to rule yourself. The Stoics believed that the path to peace is to live in harmony with nature. But what does this mean? It does not mean living in the forest, or giving up all possessions. It means living according to the truth of life, the laws of reality, and the nature of your own soul. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Live in agreement with nature, for what is in harmony with nature is never wrong." To the Stoic, suffering comes when you fight against what is natural, when you demand that life be other than it is, when you resist reality instead of accepting it. Think about the world around you. The seasons change, the sun rises and sets, storms come and go, and life moves forward. No man curses the winter and makes it vanish. No man shouts at the rain and makes it stop. The wise man accepts what nature brings and works with it. In the same way, your own life has seasons. Times of growth, times of struggle, times of joy, times of loss. The foolish man fights these changes and suffers twice, once from the pain itself, and again from his resistance to it. The Stoic accepts them, adapts, and finds peace even in hardship. Epictetus said, "Do not seek for things to happen as you wish, but wish for things to happen as they do happen, and your life will go smoothly. This is the essence of living in harmony with nature. Do not demand that life bend to your will. Bend your will to life. This does not mean weakness. It does not mean giving up. It means wisdom. It means directing your energy where it can be used, instead of wasting it where it cannot. Simplicity is another pillar of the Stoic life. Seneca warned against luxury, not because pleasure is evil, but because it chains the soul. He wrote, "It is not the man who has little, but the man who desires more, who is poor." The more you desire, the more restless you become. The more you chase, the less peace you find. A man who is content with simple things is richer than any king. He sleeps peacefully, he wakes with gratitude, he lives without fear of loss, because he has nothing to lose. Ask yourself, how much of your suffering comes from wanting more than you need? How much stress is created by comparing yourself to others, by chasing things that bring only temporary satisfaction? The Stoics remind you, true wealth is not found in gold, but in a calm mind, in a grateful heart, in a life lived with virtue. You may own little, yet if you own yourself, you are rich. You may own much, yet if your desires rule you, you are poor. Marcus Aurelius lived surrounded by power, by wealth, by endless luxury, yet he wrote to himself that a simple life is the best life. He wore the crown of Rome, yet he reminded himself that death would soon strip it away. He chose to live with humility, with simplicity, with discipline, because he knew that peace is not found in palaces, but in the soul. Living with nature also means living with virtue. The Stoics believe that the universe is ordered, rational, and filled with purpose. To live well is to live in line with that order, with justice, with courage, with wisdom, with self-control. When you live with virtue, you live in harmony with the universe itself. You feel peace, not because life is easy, but because you are aligned with what is right. So how do you apply this today? First, practice acceptance. When something happens outside your control, do not curse it. Accept it, adapt to it, and move forward. Second, embrace simplicity. Do not fill your life with endless desires. Cut away what is unnecessary. Find joy in what you already have. Third, live with virtue. Do what is right, even when it is hard. Speak truth, even when it costs you. Act with courage, even when you feel fear. Harmony with nature is not found in escaping life. It is found in living life fully, with gratitude, with simplicity, with virtue. When you stop fighting reality, when you stop chasing endless desires, when you align yourself with what is natural and true, you will find peace. Not the shallow peace of comfort, but the deep peace of a soul that is free. Remember this. To live as a Stoic is to live in harmony with the world, with others, and with yourself. Accept what comes. Desire less. Live with virtue. In this way, even in the storm, you will feel calm. Even in loss, you will feel rich. Even in hardship, you will feel free. The Stoics warned that anger is the most destructive of all emotions. Seneca even wrote an entire book called On Anger, in which he said that anger is like a fire that burns not only others but first and most severely the one who carries it. Think about this. When you give yourself to anger, you lose control. Your words are not your own, your actions are not your own. You are ruled by a storm within you. And in that storm, you destroy relationships, you waste energy, you lose peace. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself, the best revenge is not to be like your enemy. When someone wrongs you, your instinct is to strike back, to prove yourself, to release the fire. But the Stoic says, why let another man's weakness control your soul? Why let his anger turn into your anger? The wise man sees insult as nothing but words, wind in the air, powerless unless he chooses to give them power. Epictetus taught, if someone provokes you, remember that it is your opinion that you are harmed. Change the opinion, and the harm disappears. Imagine someone mocks you. One man explodes in rage, feeling humiliated, hurt, broken. Another man smiles, shrugs, and feels nothing, because he knows that the insult has no weight unless he gives it weight. The event is the same. The difference is in the mind. This is the true power of self-control. Anger feels strong in the moment, but it is weakness. Patience feels soft in the moment, but it is strength. Anyone can shout, curse, strike back. It takes no wisdom to lose control. But it takes great strength to remain calm, to respond with reason instead of rage. A Stoic does not let his enemies choose his emotions. He chooses them himself. That is true power. Seneca said, anger, if not restrained, is frequently more hurtful to us than the injury that provokes it. Think about your life. How many times did anger make things worse? How many times did it destroy peace, close doors, create regret? Now think about patience. How many storms have passed simply because you refused to fight them? How many conflicts ended because you chose silence instead of shouting? Patience is not weakness. Patience is strategy. Patience is power. So how do you practice this today? First, when anger rises, pause. Do not speak, do not act, do not let the fire spread. Breathe, count, wait. Often the storm dies in minutes if you do not feed it. Second, remind yourself, is this worth my peace? Most insults, most provocations are small, meaningless. They are not worth your energy. Do not trade your calm for someone else's foolishness. Third, train your mind daily. Expect that people will be rude, selfish, foolish. Marcus Aurelius prepared himself each morning by saying, today I will meet people who are interfering, ungrateful, arrogant, dishonest. And when he did, he was not surprised, he was ready. If you expect foolishness, it cannot shock you. If you expect challenges, they cannot break you. To live with patience is not to be passive. It is to be wise. It is to know when to act and when to remain still. A Stoic is not a stone, he is alive, he feels. But he does not let feelings rule him. He rules them. He uses anger when it is righteous and controlled, but he never lets it consume him. He uses patience not to avoid life, but to master it. Remember this truth. The man who angers you, conquers you. Do not let another man rule your soul. Keep your calm. Keep your reason. Keep your strength. For storms will pass, but the damage of anger may remain forever. The choice is always yours. To burn in anger, or to shine in patience. To be ruled by emotion, or to rule yourself. The Stoics chose patience. They chose reason. They chose calm strength over fiery weakness. And so must you. Because the man who controls himself, controls everything. What is happiness? Ask the world, and you will hear many answers. Some say happiness is wealth, filling your home with gold and your hands with treasures. Others say happiness is pleasure, chasing endless desires, filling every moment with comfort and indulgence. Still others say happiness is reputation, being admired, being praised, being loved by the crowd. But the Stoics rejected all of this. To them, happiness is not found in what is outside of you. Happiness is found only within you. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Very little is needed to make a happy life. It is all within yourself, in your way of thinking." This is the essence of Stoic wisdom. Happiness is not something you wait for, or beg for, or hunt outside yourself. It is a state of the mind, born from living with virtue, from mastering your thoughts, from accepting what you cannot control. Seneca taught that true happiness is to enjoy the present without anxious dependence on the future. How many people ruin today by worrying about tomorrow? How many people are miserable because they are always waiting for something else, the next promotion, the next purchase, the next praise? A Stoic lives differently. He accepts the present moment as enough. He finds joy in simplicity, in discipline, in being alive. He does not postpone happiness to a future that may never arrive. He lives it now, in virtue, in gratitude. Epictetus said, "Wealth consists not in having great possessions, but in having few wants." The man who always wants more can never be happy, no matter how much he gains. His thirst grows with every sip, his hunger grows with every bite. But the man who trains his desires, who learns to be content with what he has, who focuses on what truly matters, that man is happy. Because he is not chained by craving, he is free. Happiness for the Stoics is not soft comfort. It is strength. It is the calm that comes from knowing you are living the right way. It is the peace that comes from mastering yourself. It is the joy that comes from turning obstacles into growth. Pleasure fades, wealth is stolen, reputation changes with the wind. But virtue, discipline, wisdom, these are eternal. Build your happiness on them, and nothing can destroy it. So how do you live this truth today? First, stop chasing what the world calls happiness. Do not believe that another purchase, another praise, another distraction will finally complete you. They will not. Second, cultivate virtue. Practice courage, justice, wisdom, and self-control in everything you do. Even in small actions, live with integrity. Happiness is not an event. It is a way of living. Third, practice gratitude. Every morning and every night, remind yourself of what you already have, of the gift of being alive, of the chance to live with strength. Gratitude transforms what you have into enough. Marcus Aurelius was emperor of Rome, yet he constantly reminded himself that happiness was not in power or wealth, but in living according to nature, in being just, in being disciplined. Seneca lived with riches, yet practiced simplicity, eating little, sleeping simply, training himself to be free from luxury. Epictetus lived with nothing, yet taught that he was happier than kings, because he ruled himself. Do not let the world deceive you. The chase for wealth, pleasure, and fame leads only to emptiness. The pursuit of virtue, discipline, and gratitude leads to true peace. Happiness is not outside, it is inside. Not in possessions, but in perception. Not in the future, but in the present. Not in indulgence, but in self-mastery. So remember this truth. A happy life is a disciplined life. A happy life is a virtuous life. A happy life is a life lived in harmony with nature and in control of yourself. This is the Stoic way. This is true happiness. The Stoics did not believe in luck. They believed in effort. They believed in discipline, in work, in the power of showing up every day with focus. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself that nothing great is created suddenly, but little by little, step by step. A man does not become wise overnight. A man does not become strong in a single morning. Greatness is the product of daily discipline, of constant practice, of steady work. Think of the farmer. He does not plant a seed today and expect a harvest tomorrow. He works the soil, he waters the field, he protects the crops, and in time, the harvest comes. Success in life is the same. Your mind, your character, your strength, they are the crops. Your discipline, your patience, your effort, these are the seeds. You must plant them daily, water them daily, protect them daily. Then, in time, the harvest will come. Seneca said, "Life is long if you know how to use it." But how many people waste their life waiting for the perfect moment to begin? They say, "I will work harder tomorrow. I will change my habits next week. I will begin when I feel ready." But tomorrow never comes. Readiness never arrives. The only time is now. The Stoic knows that every day is training, every day is practice, every day is a step toward greatness. Epictetus taught that no great thing is created suddenly. Even the smallest progress, repeated daily, becomes unstoppable. Do not underestimate the power of 1 hour of focus, 1 act of courage, 1 choice of discipline. These small actions, done consistently, build the strongest fortress. They build the life you dream of. So what should you do? Work. Not with panic, not with haste, but with steady discipline. Do the task in front of you with full attention. Do not be distracted by what others are doing, by the noise of the world, by endless comparison. Your path is yours. Your work is your training. Do it well. Do it now. Do not chase results. Chase excellence. The results will come. Do not demand immediate reward. Build habits, build character, build discipline. The reward will follow. Do not waste energy worrying about the future. Focus on today's effort. Because the future is built on what you do today. Marcus Aurelius carried the weight of an empire, yet he reminded himself to focus only on the task at hand, to do it with justice, with wisdom, with discipline. Seneca reminded his friends that each day, if used well, is enough to build a great life. Epictetus trained his students to act with discipline in every moment, reminding them that the path to freedom is found in daily effort. This is the final lesson of Stoicism. Success is not given. It is earned. It is built, slowly, patiently, through discipline and effort. You already have the strength. You already have the wisdom. All that remains is to act. And now, we come to the end of this journey together. You have listened to the wisdom of the Stoics, Marcus Aurelius, Seneca, Epictetus. You have heard about gratitude, about discipline, about obstacles, about death, about virtue, about freedom. But words alone will not change your life. Action will. You must live this truth, not just hear it. So from this moment forward, rise each morning as a Stoic. Be grateful for life. Master your mind. Turn obstacles into fuel. Live with discipline. Choose virtue. And step into each day with courage. If you do this, nothing can break you. Nothing can stop you. You will live free, strong, and unshaken. Now, take this message and make it a part of your daily life. Listen every morning, train your mind, and transform your soul. Do not let this wisdom fade after today. Repeat it. Practice it. Live it. Because the more you listen, the more you grow. The more you grow, the more you transform. And if you found strength here, if you felt the fire of Stoicism guiding you, then stay with me. Make this your daily ritual. Follow for more wisdom, more strength, more practice. Together, we will rise every morning with discipline, with courage, with focus. Together, we will build unbreakable lives. This is not the end. This is the beginning. Now go, and live as a Stoic.